Hey, 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 hey. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Live Life to No, it's not. Welcome to the Spirit Speaks experience here, the mini version. How are you doing? Hey, I'm Rosemary Noni Knight. I am the prosperity minister and a business coach to ambitious spiritual people determined to manifest at least 5 to 10K each month, to live luxuriously in their purpose, to learn how to convert energy into matter predictably, to leave behind the pain, the limiting beliefs of the past, and to rise victorious in your true design life, which everyone gets to live a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love drenched life if you will claim it. Okay. And so, what I do is show you how to combine both the practical action with spiritual and internal action to create real world results. So, if you want to understand more about how this all works, it starts with the Money Manifestation Mastery and Strategic Divine Guidance book, which you can get at the link in my bio if you're on Instagram, or you can message me the word book and I'll get that to you. So, today, as always, we're going to begin with a divine download. Okay. These divine downloads are messages that I receive from the divine. When I sit down with the divine each morning, I ask for a message for my paying community. And at the moment, what I'm doing is sharing some of the ones from last year with you guys as well. So here we go. The divine download. So quiet yourself down. Listen to what the divine is saying to you. There are so many versions of reality, and yet you latch on and stay stuck in one. You catch glimpses of what could be, but it seems unrealistic, too magical, too good to be true for you. And yet, in each moment of decision, you can change the trajectory of your life. You can believe for better and act as though it is inevitable. You can release your tight grip of the pain of your current circumstances, and you can allow in joy, peace, exhilaration. Life is yours to mold and change, and it will respond to your confidence and determination. You hear those classic words, you create from within, and you agree in principle, but you are yet to demonstrate it for yourself, or so you think. Passively, you continually demonstrate it. You continually get what you do not want because you think you have no choice, but to keep making decisions that keep you stagnant in a life you do not desire any longer. There's a quiet sense of, I've made my bed and I have to lie in it forever, almost a self punishment for past errors of judgment. You can break the cycle at any moment with a single new decision. You are free and you are more powerful than you allow yourself to believe you are. Take the false limits off. My love energy will always operate within the lines you set for it. So expand those lines or take them off completely. The choice is and will always be yours. Okay. So looking at that, I decided to disseminate it. Yeah. And we're calling it the 5 reasons why you keep manifesting the reality you do not want. Yeah. Now, there are many versions of reality, as the divine says here. There are so many versions of reality, and yet you latch on and stay stuck in one. There are so many versions of reality. There are so many versions of reality. And for a lot of people, you look at the physical reality alone and you say, this is just how it is. It's just who I am. It's that's all that's possible for me. That's how money works. That's just what people like me get to have. This is the bed I made, and now I have to lie in it. But the divine is telling you that there are many versions of reality. There is a physical reality that you do see now. There is the inner reality. There's the dream reality. There's various realities that go way beyond what you can completely imagine right now. But you treat the physical reality as though it is the only reality available. And in some ways, I'm talking about esoteric things that you only see in science fiction these days. But but there's so much more to explore. There's so much more to explore when you really think about reality as it is. You understand that you are an eternal being? Yeah, your body will at some point decide, you know what, enough. And that's natural. But you are not just your body. You exist beyond that. You exist eternally. It's not really what we're talking about today, but I know when I read that first, or when I read it again, in order to prepare for this, there was just this feeling of, if you fully really understood just how many realities there are. Realities where time or space doesn't exist, realities where time looks different, realities where space looks different, just so much more. So much more that we don't pay that much attention to because it doesn't feel relevant to our everyday life. And I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And yet, I need you to always remember this. You are the God of your life, partnered with the God of all life. Okay. And so instead of seeing yourself as some kind of victim of the physical reality, or a victim of the divine, you need to understand that you are the authority in your life. This is one of the 5 deliberate millionaire principles. You are the authority in your life. You are the one with all the choices when it comes to your life. Now, I do get really excited about exploring all kinds of different realities, and I know it sounds kind of weird. It depends on how much in-depth study you've looked into spiritual things and looked behind the physical reality and all that stuff. But bringing it back to what would be relevant to you here and now is stop treating the physical reality as if it is your boss. Okay. Yes, it has its uses, and yes, you did choose to be here for a season, and you also in some ways chose to forget the eternal the eternal substance of you in order to fit into this physical reality and train yourself in certain ways, experience certain things. But yes, you did choose to forget in some ways. I need you to remember, to start to remember that you are not stuck. You are not stuck. Okay? You keep reacting to the physical reality as though you have no choice, but you are creator of that reality. What you see right now in the physical reality is not the whole story. You are a potent, powerful creator. And I know that can sound almost wishy-washy and whatever, but it's the basis of manifesting is this knowledge that you are the God of your life. The God of your life. And that might be really big and weird for you to hear. Hear it as you are created in the image and likeness of the divine. If that's because I had to start there. I was brought up religious. So I started with I am created in the image and likeness of the divine. And that got me questioning when I really thought about it. Because if I'm created in the image and likeness of the divine, and that I'm given dominion over the affairs of my life, then surely I'm a heck of a lot more powerful than I have allowed myself to believe. And so that got me questioning. And then my next level was I am one with the divine. The same power that creates all things is in me. That same power that created everything I see, feel, and touch, it's in me. It works with me. It is me. It was my next level from there. And then recently, with the divine saying to me, you are the God of your life, partnered with the God of all life. You are powerful, you are limitless, you are never, ever alone. And I really want you to consider that because when you really truly start to understand what that looks like, you will no longer be willing to settle for less. So that's the first thing to consider here. Why manifesting sometimes doesn't work for you is because you think that you are subject to the physical reality and the physical reality is all there is, and you live as though it is true. Okay. Now, second thing here to consider is that you keep making choices based on this whole idea that you have no choice. So the divine goes on to say, passively, you continually demonstrate it. You continually get what you do not want because you think you have no choice, but to keep making decisions that keep you stagnant in a life you do not desire any longer. So you keep making choices based on the belief that I have no choice. I have no choice. I have to just handle whatever shows up in my life. I have no choice. And it sounds practical. It sounds responsible. It sounds mature. You know, you don't want to magical thinking and you don't want to live in the clouds and all of that stuff. But ultimately, it shows up in your behavior as I have to stay here. I have to keep doing what I'm doing. I have to just put up with it. I have to wait. I have to keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, even if it's draining me. But I have to keep giving. It's giving and giving and giving and giving. Hopefully, what is mine will finally come and find me. Okay. I have to be realistic. I have to stay in a job or a relationship that I hate, but I have to because it's I just have no choice. I have to be here. I have to keep living this way because it's just my life right now. I have to keep feeling the way I feel. I have to keep. It's just who I am. It's just the way I am. I have no choice in the matter. It's a lie. You are the one with all the choices. You are the one with all the choices. You are the one with all the choices. You are the only one with all the choices when it comes to your own life. Okay. So you focus so hard on the hard circumstances of your current existence that you refuse to see how some of your own choices are keeping those circumstances in place. Because you believe you have no choice, you keep acting as though you have no choice, which means that you keep reacting to the physical reality, which means your life is going to keep feeling more and more restricted. Because it's like, okay, so you see your bank balance looking a certain way, and so then you tighten your belt. You're too scared to look for another job in case you lose the one you have, or you're too scared to. There's so many things you're so scared to do because you're looking at the physical reality, thinking that's all you have, and so then you make these little or smaller and smaller choices that restrict you even more, and you don't realize you're doing it to yourself. But every time you make a smaller choice and the result, of course, is more restriction, you tell yourself, well, see, I knew it. I had to act in this way. No, you're choosing this. Okay? You are creating more stagnation in your own life. And maybe for the most part, most of y'all don't even see that this is happening because you're in your box. I say this all the time. You're in your little box. You don't realize that you are keeping yourself in your box. And you keep creating more evidence that life can't change, but it can. It can. Some of your behaviors are based on that belief, and those behaviors are sabotaging you, but you don't know it because you think you're being reasonable. Number three, you think one decision should fix everything immediately. Now, the divine does go on to say, you can break the cycle at any moment with a single new decision. And yes, you do need to make a new decision. You do need to make a new choice. But then don't misunderstand this. That new choice you're making, you're going to have to make again and again and again. It is a simple, single new choice or new decision that you make repeatedly, over and over and over again. There's the idea that because you've now thought a new thought for 3 weeks, it should somehow stand against 50 years or 30 years or 40 years or 70 years or 100 years of thinking in a way that has built out a physical reality that looks the way it does right now. Okay, this is where it would be wise to be reasonable. Okay, because yes, 21 days isn't going to combat 10 years of building a particular life with a particular foundation in a particular way. It's going to start the work. Absolutely, it will. But give it time. Do not run off and keep trying this strategy, that strategy, try the other thing. Oh, look at that. That's exciting. This thing didn't work for 3 days. So let's try this other thing. Oh, that thing didn't. So every time you're starting again, every time you're starting again, every time you're starting again, instead of recognizing that actually every time you start again, one, you're giving yourself the idea that one, nothing ever works for me, and I'm fickle. I never stay with anything long enough to. And this I have people say to me that I start well and then I just can't stick with it. Who's making the choice not to stick with it? You are. So choose again. This is where I'm saying, yes, you need to make a new decision, but you make that same decision over and over and over and over and over again until it really lands in you and until it starts showing up in your physical reality. Okay? Until the physical reality starts reorganizing around it. Rather than, oh, oh, I'm free now. I'm free. I'm going to be free to do whatever. And then, oh, so I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Oh my God, that person looked at me funny. Ah, let's go back. or I'm allowed to make more money. I can make as much money as I want. Oh, but the divine. I'm not sure if the divine wants me to do that. Oh, I don't know. So then you go back, and the guilt comes up, and oh no, let's go back to the old reality. So you make these decisions, and then you change your mind again because you get afraid, or because you're not sure, or because there's still some work to do around some of your beliefs that need to be adjusted, to be changed. Okay, but don't keep doing this whole start something new and then and then go back to the old. Start something new. Oh, it's scary. Go back to the old. Except you don't always. It's not as obvious as I'm making it. But if you take the time to look back over your life, you will see. And for some of you, you already know that so many times you've started new things and not stuck with them. Most of the strategies you try when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to creating a business, when it comes to creating a life you want, whatever, or making more money, they would work if you worked them beyond what feels comfortable. But the moment you feel uncomfortable, and I used to do this all the time, the moment you feel uncomfortable, you change direction again. So it's like every time you're starting afresh, every time you're starting something new, every time you're starting something new, okay, you're gaining some skill, some wisdom. But the biggest wisdom sometimes you need to know is consistency. Stay in the same place long enough until the feeling of it becomes normal to you. And then the behaviors that are associated with the new choice become normal to you. And because that starts to create a new reality for you. Okay? Some of these things take time. And anybody that tells you that it can all happen in 3 seconds is lying to you. Lying to you. It takes time. It took time to build the life you have right now. It will take time for you to shift away from it. If you're deliberate about it, it won't take as much time as it took to get here because you were very passively kind of allowing yourself to be dragged all over the place. You don't have to be that passive anymore, but give yourself time. Give yourself time. Okay. Number 4, you are still punishing yourself for past mistakes. One of the things the divine said in that divine download is there's a quiet sense that I've made my bed and I have to lie in it forever. So your self punishment for past errors of judgment. Okay. And this is another hidden way that you keep creating the life you don't want or manifesting the life you don't want is that you believe that you've done something wrong and you need to be punished. So maybe you made some mistakes with money, which everybody does, and or maybe you trusted the wrong person, which everybody does at some point, or you stayed too long in the wrong job or in the wrong environment or the wrong relationship, or maybe you left too soon. Basically, or you started to try and live in your purpose, but then it got scary, so you went back to doing whatever to get by. You started again, and then you stopped again, and you started again, and you stopped again, or you actually did something that really went against your value system, and so now you keep thinking to yourself, well, I made that mistake. This is the bed I've made. I'm just gonna have to lie in it forever. Why? Why do you have to lie in it forever? Why do you have to lie in it forever? Really? Okay. One mistake, even 10 mistakes, do not have to become a lifetime sentence. They don't. Okay. And again, you will not always know that you're punishing yourself. And sometimes it shows up energetically. Like I could tell a story about stuff, but I'm in a hurry here, so I can't tell a story around it. But sometimes energetically, so almost in the physical reality, it looks like there's no connection. And sometimes it is very, very practical. You can see that because I made this choice and I keep making these choices, I can see that this is the result that is coming. You don't realize that you're punishing yourself. You think it's the divine punishing you, particularly if you're brought up religious. There's part of you, and the way we were all brought up with this whole idea of reward and punishment, reward and punishment, reward and punishment. You get rewarded if you do something great. You get punished if you do something mistaken. The problem with that is that it worked when you were a child. Okay, it kept you in control. It kept you good in your classroom, and kept your parents from pulling their hair out. But now that you're an adult, you need to understand that the physical reality doesn't actually work that way. It really, really doesn't. And we say, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair when you see people who have done what you would consider to be. How could you do that? And they're prospering. You can see that reward and punishment is not actually a legitimate system in the real world or the physical reality. So why do you keep going against your true nature to believe something that it's no longer true? It never really was. It just kind of kept you controlled for a season. Surely you're done with being controlled. The whole idea of reward and punishment, you really need to question it. Question it. Because life does not reward you for being the best, nicest person on the planet. And it actually doesn't always punish you for being the worst person on the planet either. So usually what happens with ambitious spiritual people is that you are the judge and jury of yourself. And so you punish yourself. And you don't know you're doing it, so you don't know when to stop. You don't know when to stop. You think the divine is doing it, and you keep telling yourself, oh, it's because I made that mistake, or it's because I did this, that's why this is happening to me. And so forever you're under this life sentence of punishment. Enough. You call them consequences, or you're being realistic, or it's what I deserve. It's not true. And you need to break free of that nonsense. You really, really do. I need to speed through this. I can almost feel my husband breathing down at me. Number 5, we're going out. So anyway, number 5, you expect the divine to override the lines that you keep drawing. Remember, you are the God of your life, partnered with the God of all life. The divine is not coming to take over your life. Again, this can be a religious kind of way of thinking where you believe that if you're good enough, at some point, the divine's going to come and raise you up into the clouds or take you into paradise or something like that, basically, or come and save the day or come and prove to everybody that you were right after all. It doesn't work that way, my love. The divine says, my love energy will always operate within the lines that you have set for it. So expand those lines or take them off completely. You put boundaries in place for how you want your life to look or what is allowed to happen to you. The divine will never break out of those boundaries that you have put in place. It doesn't mean you can't ask for help. It doesn't mean the divine is completely oblivious to your fate. But the divine knows that you are powerful. It's not going to take away your power from you. So you need to decide, these boundaries that I keep trying to live within, these punishments that I keep punishing myself with, is it still appropriate for me to continue to live in this way? Is it still appropriate for me to keep living in this way or not? If it's not, then you need to take those false limits off, because it's getting in the way of you getting the support that you even want to get the help to move forward. If you've drawn the line at I can't be visible, love energy is not going to force you to be visible. I can't charge more than this. Love energy isn't going to make you charge more than that. I have to stay where I am because that's all I deserve. That's what love energy will work within the boundaries that you have placed. Do you want to keep living within those boundaries? Are you even aware of them? Guys, for some of y'all, you're hearing this stuff, you resonate with it, but you don't always see where you're doing it. Get the book. When you get the book, you come into my world. At the moment I'm doing these consultations, take me up on one if you are ready to move forward, okay? Okay. 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 Anyway, the cycle can break now. You can change the trajectory of your life. The divine says in each moment of decision, you can change the trajectory of life. The choice is yours. Will you change the trajectory of your life by looking at some of these things we've spoken about here and seeing where they apply to you? Okay, let's finish by saying the love prayer together. Very quickly, let me find it and put it on. No, not there. Share screen. Here we go. Okay, your love dissolves all layers of doubt. Your love dissolves all layers of fear. Your love keeps me focused. Your love keeps me clear. Your love dissolves all layers of guilt. Your love dissolves all layers of shame. Your love keeps me focused. Your love keeps me in the game. Your love dissolves all layers of regret. Your love dissolves all layers of despair. Your love restores my hope, my peace, my joy. Your love restores my youth and my years. Your love dissolves all resentment. Your love dissolves all hate. Your love dissolves any bitter root within me. Your love rebuilds my trust and my faith. Your love flows freely through me right now, resolving, dissolving, evolving. Your love flows freely through me right now, harmonizing and adjusting. Your love flows freely through me right now, resolving, dissolving, evolving. Your love makes me magnetic to the desires of my heart. I feel your love propelling me forward into greater and greater financial prosperity right now. Money, wealth, riches are flooding into my life from everywhere and in great abundance with ease and with speed. Okay, it's been a pleasure as always sharing this with you. Listen again, think about what I said, and see where it applies to you. Until the next time, go forth and prosper. Go and get a copy of my book at the link in my bio or message me the word book. Much amazing, amazing love. Bye.